There is some sheep in there as well, which I know New Zealanders are going to
You've
love.
sold us.
I literally felt like I was in the Spice Girls, and I was like, this is insane. We need Sharon's number, guys.
Hello, welcome along to A Little Bit Extra. My name is Sharon, and this is your escape from the shit show that is planet Earth. Now, today's interview, I am so excited for you to hear it. It is with Rebel Wilson about her new movie, The Deb. Now, if you haven't seen the trailer or anything for The Deb yet, you can check it out in the show notes, but it's a comedy musical. It's very Australian, New Zealand sense of humour, and if you need something to just go and make you laugh, go and see The Deb. It's in cinemas now, and this is my chat with Rebel Wilson, who I could absolutely see myself being best friends with. She doesn't know that yet, but I'll just make her be my best friend. If I look at my phone, by the way, that's just where my questions are. If
Okay,
I
no worries.
don't think I'm texting during.
Yeah, okay, yeah. If I look at my phone, it might be because my wife's about to have a baby. So if I get,
Oh my God.
it might just be I have to run to the hospital. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's just make sure we finish the podcast first, okay? I know that it's very important stuff. No.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
Rebel Wilson, welcome along to A Little Bit Extra. We are so stoked to have you because our podcast is all about escaping the shit show that is planet Earth and just finding the things that are joyful and not the bad stuff like what's happening overseas and things like that at the moment. And when I watched The Deb last night, I was just like, this is exactly what the world needs right now. It is such a joyful movie. You must have loved making this.
Oh, I'm so glad you explained it like that. And firstly, Sharon, thank you for having me on. And that is the word joyful is really that's why I wanted to create this movie. And if anything, if it was to bring joy to a couple of my family members who I know have been through rough stuff in their lives, even if it just brought joy to them, I would be happy with this. And that's really what I was going for. And to me, I mean, the movie, The Deb, it's a musical comedy. And to me, there's something about musicals, it just brings joy. I don't know why, scientifically it does, but the singing and dancing and having positive messages like this movie does, it's just, yeah. So that's so good that you got joy out of it because that is exactly what I was going for.
Oh, it's from the moment that the movie starts, going straight into a big musical number, but the music, it's not your classic musical where it's just a straight song, where you have all these comedic elements to it. I was cackling within the first couple of minutes. It was so well done. And the one-liners that you have come out, I have already this morning used the line of my Lord and Savior, Kris Kardashian Jenner, or Jenna Kardashian. When you said that, I have to watch it again. It's so funny. So that's my new catchphrase. So how did you get to the point where you wanted to make a musical, but also doing it back in Australia as well? That's pretty awesome to be giving back to your home country.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's weird. I've been on a lot of Hollywood movies, and then people were like, "Oh, you know what? You should really direct a movie one day." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. I love being an actress. You're in front of the camera, you get all the glory." And I was like, I don't know whether I want to be behind the camera. And then I got offered a studio movie in America to direct, and I was like, okay, so this is not just a thing. People think I have these abilities. And I was like, but I've never done it before. And then I was like, you know what? Screw it. I think I should give it a go. But if I'm giving it a go, it's got to be a project that I back 100%, that is so me. And so that meant it had to be Australian. I mean, I've been in the business 25 years, but, at least half of it was coming up in Australia. And so I was like, it's got to be something Australian, and it's got to be a musical comedy, because otherwise I cannot justify spending years of my life directing this. And it takes so much effort. I think what people don't understand, to get a movie up, it just is. It's so much work, and it's years of work and passion. But this story, and I was trying to work out one, I think it brings joy, and a lot of people need it. I know how I got into musicals is when I was a teenager, and I was going through a real dark time, and I don't know, had things going on in my family, and I was very unpopular and shy and an introvert, and musicals brought joy and a smile to my face. And so I kind of think of teenagers that might be out there, like right now in Australia, like the same thing. And if a movie like Muriel's Wedding or Priscilla, Queen of the Desert
Oh,
could do that for me, that I was like, okay, maybe The Deb will be that movie that a lot of people, you might not even realize you need it, and then you need it. But also in the movie, it's like these people are struggling, the town's in drought, their community's in trouble in a lot of ways, and just the joy that they have a lot of strength inside them and they can get through this is really also another real positive message.
yeah, I loved that too. And you're so right. Priscilla and like Muriel's Wedding they are still iconic. Like I can't wait for my boys to be like a little bit older so I can show them
Yeah,
these
and
movies because they're
those movies
so
are like
great.
30 years old, and
Yeah.
Australia's so good at making those movies. So I was like, okay, I'm going to come back to Australia. I'm going to leave America and come to Australia and just like make a movie that has that essence. And so hopefully we've succeeded because the team on this is so great. We had like 350 Australians make this, and they're like, they're very talented, and so I hope that shines through.
Yeah, it definitely does. I also like that just as a Kiwi watching it and the words that only Australians and Kiwis would get, like pash and things like that. I was like,
I,
yes, we need more people say have a pash in a movie. I loved it. It was so great. And I think it's really cool that you do like go back and put all these Australian crews on stuff. It's like Taika Waititi does that with like Kiwi films. Like he moved an entire show to New Zealand once. It was pretty much all crewed by New Zealanders and always like
yeah.
sneaking them into his movies and stuff. I think it's really awesome. So well
And
done because
Taika,
you
I mean, Taika's a huge inspiration to me because, he was a performer and then he went into directing, and I was lucky enough to be in his movie Jojo Rabbit,
so good.
which was, the only movie I've ever been in that's been nominated for an Oscar. Although, oh no, wait, Bridesmaids has as well, but
Oh,
it's rare for comedies. And when Taika, like, he always talks about he wants to come back to New Zealand, wants to make more stuff in New Zealand, and that was kind of me. I was like, okay, yeah, I want to direct something, and so it's gonna got to be Australian, and I'm gonna employ all Australians. Like, for example, the casting director was the same casting director that gave me my very first professional gig 25 years ago, Kirsty
oh,
McGregor.
that's so cool.
And so she changed my life by giving me that commercial. And I'm sure it doesn't change her life to now be casting my movie because she's so amazing. But to me, I just always take a mental note and remember the people who helped me from back in the day, and try to, bring a cool group together. But we also, our main producer, Greer, is from New Zealand. So we do have a couple of Kiwi crew because they blend seamlessly in with us Aussies, and
Yeah.
then we're all a good team.
Oh, it was so great. Like, and the casting is brilliant. Like, every single person delivers in it. And it was interesting. Like, one of my favorite characters, and I was trying to IMDb it afterwards to find out because I was like, is that your daughter that was like playing your daughter in real life, but like that was dressed up as the little koala? Was that your
I
daughter, or was that just another child actor?
No, it was. I wish it was my daughter. I did put my daughter in. She's in a still photograph. If you look very closely in the
Oh,
set, you'll see little baby Royce. But she was such a little baby then. But no, that girl, her name's Scarlett Crabtree. She's from Queensland. Like, hadn't been in a movie before. And I just, I put the net out far and wide to try to find the right people for the movie. And I found little Scarlett, and I was like, this girl's hilarious. Like, she's like my comedy spirit animal or something. She's just
yes.
funny.
That's
Yeah.
why I thought that that's why I was trying to find out if it was your daughter Royce or not, because I was watching
Yeah.
it and I don't want to like spoil
Yeah.
anything in the movie, but like the scene where she's got the suitcase, I was cry
Yeah,
laughing because I was
that's
like,
funny.
how does a child that young have such brilliant comedic timing? And I thought that she was like a little version of you, and I was like, oh my gosh, that girl
She
is
is a
so
real
funny.
talent, and she's got jobs already from this movie. She plays Owen Wilson's daughter in an upcoming movie, and I just could not rate this kid highly enough. She's just got it. Like she's
Yeah.
just really funny. I hope my daughter. I think my daughter is funny. I mean, now she's 3, and I think she's got something as well. But
Oh my
I don't know.
gosh.
But it was really fun to discover a lot of the young cast. It's their first movie, and they've now gone on to do really, really cool stuff in the business. So I'm really proud of them all because they're so talented.
That's so. How are you finding having a 3-year-old, by the way? My oldest is 8 and my youngest is 4, and 3 is such a wild time. There's
Yeah.
like a whole new personality that
It's
develops.
it's constant energy. So if I'm not directing,
Yes.
if I'm not working, I'm with my daughter. She's learning how to swim right now. So
Oh God,
that
that's
is,
fun.
and she's fearless. She just jump in. So you got to be ready
Yeah.
at all times because she would just jump in with no floaties, and it's like it's a whole thing. And she loves dancing. She weirdly loves. She got to meet some of the Pussycat Dolls on my latest movie that I've just directed called Girl Group, and
Oh.
so she's like obsessed with listening to the Pussycat Dolls, which is hilarious. She's singing like pushing up my buttons, like she
Uh-huh.
sings she's singing their song Hush Hush just out of nowhere the other day, and I'm like, oh my God, Rosie. So, but it is constant energy, and then my wife's pregnant, 8 months pregnant, so we have another baby entering the world in a couple of weeks, and so it's just it's hecticness, but it's really good
Yeah.
hecticness, and I think uh, the natural mothering and stuff, it didn't come naturally to me at all. Like I'm lucky my wife is amazing at the schedule and the sleep schedule and the feeding and cooking everything because but I get better as I go along. I feel like, and I just I try to be there for my daughter and be as present as possible, even though I have a pretty busy life. And she's just such a joy. I mean, I went through a whole IVF journey to have her, and so it's like I'm just so lucky to just have her in my life, and she's just a little ray of sunshine and continuously making us laugh. So I hope you never know whether that'll translate into being in a comedy movie at some point.
Well, maybe. It's funny though, the music thing. Like my 4-year-old, his favorite song at the moment is Bootylicious by Destiny's Child.
Oh
But he
yeah.
keeps he keeps telling everyone it's called Boobylicious. And so he's been going to kindy and they get to like play songs and he's like, can we play Boobylicious? And I'm like, oh my God, please just ask for a nursery rhyme or something. But he's all about Bootylicious at the moment. So maybe I need to get him into some Pussycat Dolls as well.
Oh, yeah, it's funny what they like. Like it's really like my daughter instantly within a few seconds, if she doesn't like a song, she'll go next song, no, and
Yeah.
then just some they're really into. But Bootylicious is a banger. Like so,
Oh,
yeah,
it's
your
so
son's got a
good.
good
And
taste there.
his music taste is immaculate. And to be honest, I've got the same age gap between my boys, and you've got the perfect age gap. It's going to be so great. So
Yeah, because
congratulations on your
gonna
new
play.
baby.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's really exciting, and I was like, oh God, then it'll be a family of four, and it's like, yeah, it's crazy how your life can change in a matter of years.
Oh,
And
I
I'm a
know it's
full-on mum, and I just do mum things all the time. I don't really go out or do much apart from mum stuff. I am going to
mm,
take my daughter to Disneyland though on Friday, because they have
oh,
a
that'll be so
Bluey
cool.
show that's on.
Oh,
So she's really into that. So I promised I would take her.
Bluey is iconic. I can't. I am obsessed. I can watch Bluey. Sometimes
It's a
I
good
find myself
show.
just watch.
I
Find
like
myself
it.
watching it when my kids
Yeah.
aren't even there anymore, and I've just sat there and continued to watch it. It's so
Yeah.
great. Also makes me
Yeah.
feel bad about myself, and I weirdly have a crush on Bandit. So
Oh
I don't know
yeah.
what that means for me, but apparently I'm
He
into
is a good
dogs.
dad. He is a good
He's a
dad.
great
Yeah.
dad. They're
Yeah.
great. I'm so glad you mentioned your new movie Girl Band as well because I had to ask. That was one of my questions. I need to
Okay.
know what was it like being in the presence of such pop greatness? Because obviously you've got Ashley Roberts from Pussycat Dolls, but then you've
Yeah.
got Mel C from the Spice Girls and
Yeah.
Shaznay Lewis from All Saints. Like
Yeah. So
that
I
was
love
amazing.
yeah, so after the Deb I wrote and now I've directed a second movie called Girl Group, and basically as part of that I got to form my own fantasy like super group of girl
Incredible.
group members. And then Nicole Scherzinger comes into it as well because she replaces me in my girl band in the movie. And so these ladies were so epic. And we do a scene where we're performing in a stadium at the end of the movie, and I literally felt like I was in the Spice Girls, and I was like, this is insane. Like, this is my dream come true. Obviously, I'm not good enough to ever have been in those groups,
Who
but
cares?
because
Who
I
cares?
wrote and created a movie where that could be a reality, I was like, wow, like, and those ladies could not have been nicer. They're such cool chicks, and it was just like, I mean, the full ensemble cast is actually like 80 people in it, like Jennifer Coolidge and amazing
Oh,
cast of funny people. But yeah, those ladies were just such class all around, and I really did feel like I got to be in a girl band, which was super, super funny and just. Great. I really respect it. I hope there's more girl bands that come up in the business because we need those, we need those songs. They're so cool.
so good. Did you manage to get any tea from Mel C if the Spice Girls reunion's happening or not? Because I can't not
Uh,
see all five of them.
I tried. I mean, I did get tea. She's just dating an Australian who I got to meet.
Oh,
So I got the
okay.
tea about that. And God, Mel C looks amazing. Like I can't believe she's like 50 and she looks insane. But no, I mean, I would be there front row if there was. I did message Baby Spice the other day about something. We're
Good.
friends on
Tell her.
Instagram, and I
Yeah.
was like, there's got to be a Spice Girl. I wonder because it was happening, but then I heard there's some hiccups now.
Yeah. Well, the good news is that if Mel C's dating an Australian, that means that maybe we have an in to get if they do have a reunion tour to actually come down under. And even if they're in Australia, we will fly. The New
Yeah,
Zealanders will come.
it's only 3 hours. You can come
Yeah.
over. I'll get us the
Amazing.
tickets. I'll text
Oh.
Mel C and be like, babe, we need some.
And
And
I'll be the
yeah,
coolest friend you've ever had at a concert. We will have the
yeah.
best time.
And I know the choreography as well. And I know how to do
Oh,
it all. Yeah,
me
yeah.
too.
Stop
We're
right
on.
now. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much.
Yeah,
This is
like we
we're
could we
amazing.
could be awesome. Yeah.
We actually could. Now, getting back to the Deb, because the Deb, it's honestly one of the funniest movies I've seen in such a long time. And
Oh, thanks.
there was like
I was
different
going for
bits
funny.
throughout it.
Yeah, I was going for
Yeah, well,
joyful
good.
and funny. Yeah.
It's very much both of those things. But there was the moment where one of the girls is going to the toilet and there's like a massive toad in the toilet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think it
Do
was a
you
toad. It
guys
looked
get
too big to
that
be a frog.
in Do you guys get that in New Zealand?
No, I saw like this tiny little gecko running across our veranda the other day, and I was like, "Holy
Yeah.
shit, we're in Australia now!" Even though it was like
Yeah.
this big. But as someone that did grow up in Australia, what have you ever found something like that? Is that inspired from your real life? Because
Um,
I'd be moving countries.
what happened to me is our family lived in the bush for a while,
Oh
not my entire childhood, but for a few years when I was an early teenager. And I went to the bin and I thought an electrical cord was hanging out of the bin. So I went to just,
no!
I grabbed it and I put it in the bin. It was actually the tail of a giant bush rat. So
Shut
I
up!
I screamed so loudly. It was the size of a dog and it was called a bush rat. It was insanely traumatic. I had to call my parents to come home. I was freaking
Oh my
out.
God!
And then the other thing is that we would have a lot of snakes at that house, but they wouldn't get in the house, luckily. But
Good.
they'd shed their skins on the back porch. We had a concrete porch, and I think they liked it because it was hot still at night. And they'd shed all their skins, and so you could be like,
Oh,
"Holy crap! There were giant snakes outside last night." And they obviously lived in the bush behind our house and would come up and get the warmth from the concrete and shed their skins. It was, yeah, it was a bit gross. I
that's
didn't have a
wild.
toad in the toilet, but I know a lot of people have, so put that in
It's in
there.
there.
Yeah,
That's the thing, though. Have you ever heard of the Rat King? Have you heard of a Rat King before?
no,
Oh my gosh, you have to do this today. Google a Rat King, and basically
yeah,
it's just like they've got one in a museum here in Dunedin, and it's like
yeah.
this huge rat, and then it just has all these other like rats on top of it, and it's basically like a walking montage of rats or something. But Google it. It's like the grossest thing you'll ever see, and
Oh my God.
it's horrific, but
I hope
it's
I never come across a rat king.
oh my God, me neither. Oh God, I can't handle all of that stuff. That's why I live in New Zealand, when I can just like see a moth and be scared of a moth. Like I could not do a
Yeah.
rat or a snake. Well, we're so grateful for your time, Rebel. Thank you so much for being here. If you could say like one thing right now, why New Zealanders should go along and see the Deb in cinemas. It's in cinemas today, and you have to go see
Yes.
it if you need a laugh because the world feels like it's on fire. So this is the perfect time for you to be releasing something. So
And
give us the hard sell. What should people know?
well, okay, this movie just has a beautiful message at its core, and it really is, about finding your voice and and overcoming struggles, which I know we all have. Like, you might have a huge health struggle or something in your relationships or your family or in the world that you're just like so sad about. And then this movie is about overcoming that and finding joy. And so I think it's really going to resonate with a lot of people. But New Zealanders should get out to the cinema because this comedy, I mean, Australia and New Zealand have the same sense of humor, I think. And maybe New Zealanders have slightly better. Even. And so you're really going to appreciate the jokes because it's just funny and it's a movie that matters. And there's not movies like this being made. Like there's hardly any that are being made like this that are just about fun and joy. And so get out to the cinemas and see it. And I mean, there is some sheep in there as well, which I know New Zealanders are going to love.
You've sold us. You've sold us now on the sheep.
There's a big sheep moment in the movie. And I just love New Zealand so much. I'm sure my mum's friends in New Zealand are going to go, but really everyone should go because it's just one of those crack up movies that is reminiscent of some of these older classics. And I mean, New Zealand has so many. Like I know you guys at Hunt for the Wilder People, Taika's one that you just had re-released in cinemas, and I'm guessing like that's because like there's not a lot of these funny movies out there. So go check out the Deb, and you definitely won't be disappointed.
Oh, you've sold that perfectly. And I co-sign everything that you just said. And thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We really appreciate it. And I hope it all goes amazing with the movie because I just think you're brilliant. And I've really enjoyed talking to you. You're really lovely. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Sharon. I so appreciate you making the time. And thank you so much for having me on.
See you at the Spice Girls, babes. We're on.
All right. Yeah, I'll remember. We need Sharon's number, guys. We need Sharon's email.
Yeah. Rebel Wilson, absolute legend. Make sure you go and see The Deb in cinemas now. You will honestly crack up laughing. There's so many great one-liners in it. I wish that I could have fed more of them throughout the interview, but that's just how many there are. It's fabulous. So thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe because your support is what we need for the podcast to keep going forward. So thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you again on Tuesday for your Pop Brat. Bye!